So tweet it out. We're going live. There's an Xbox fanboy. There's an Xbox fanboy Twitter space just started. I'm live on YouTube. Ranting about an L company. Of an L company called Square Enix. Yeah. Oh, I don't have the link. The link. Where's the link? Where's the goddamn link? I'm looking at the link again. Save. Oh, here it is. No, don't open it, just give me the link. I copy. A company called Square Enix. And then I'm going to please retweet this as well. I'm gonna put that picture I made on here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, I meant to put I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on you. I make myself up. Sometimes I crack myself up. Sometimes I literally crack my own self up. Do you know that? I'm so lame that I crack my own self up. So I don't know how this sounds on YouTube. If anyone can just hop into the YouTube and tell me how it sounds, how the audio sounds. I don't know. I hope this isn't too loud. How's it sound? It should say starting soon. Oh, I can hear me on the thing. Yeah, look, it's not even this because my Rolucci. I'm ready for legendary. I don't know about legendary. Square Enix catches L's. They are the cause of their own L's. That is the thing about Square Enix. They are literally the cause of their own L's. They are the cause and the solution to their own problems. Okay. Okay, so I think it's somewhat working. So let's get started. Wow, my computer is lagging. Now, so we are in a stage room on Discord, on our Discord server, Jodie's JP Sales chat, and this is a sort of bonus show or main show. The main reason I'm doing this today is because tomorrow is the Game Awards, which starts at about, I think it's like 11 PM my time. So I didn't want to do a show at a normal time on a Friday right before that. I thought it was going to be a bit redundant as well. So we'll probably have a discussion after the Game Awards. Sorry, not the Game Awards, Summer Game Fest. Did I say Game Awards? I meant Summer Game Fest. The lag is real. Can you see the lag? Are you hearing lag? Where's the lag? Is the screen lagging out? Is it lagging? What's lagging? Is it lagging? Is it? Can you see the lag? The lag is real, Rolucci, but you have to tell me where you can actually see lag. Square Enix. Yeah, Square Enix. Yeah. Straight L company. Right, okay. Tweet out, tell everyone that we're live. I'm doing this live on YouTube for prosperity. So we have it. This is the easiest way of just like getting it recorded, getting it saved and recorded. Okay, so tomorrow is the Summer Game Fest, which is like late my time. It's at 10 or 11. I mean, maybe 11 p.m. or so. It's like it starts late. So I decided to do something today rather than tomorrow. Basically, is the long and short of it. And then yesterday, we got some news. We got a shadow drop that irked me, and the shadow drop was to do with Octopath Traveler, two games made by a company called Square Enix. Now, Square Enix has told their investors that they are going to be aggressively pursuing a new multi-platform agenda, which I think is very good. So I want to get this out of the way first. I think it's very good that Square Enix pursues multi-platform. I think it's very good that they put their games on all platforms as much as possible. I think it's very good that Octopath Traveler is multi-platform. Okay, so my rant is not about Octopath Traveler being multi-platform, because it already was multi-platform anyway. That's the first thing. So it's not about that. My issue is the fact that they decided to shadow drop these games out of nowhere with little to no promotion. They basically threw together a video. Well, first some news broke that there was an update on the Steam version of Octopath Traveler 2. Like, they added some new, like, this extra battles after clearing the story, and then this, bosses and things like that. So, and Octopath Traveler 2 was already rumoured, because it was already announced for Xbox and Game Pass, right? So it was rumoured and expected to basically drop during the Xbox showcase, which I think is on Sunday, right? So that was the expectation of everybody. Obviously, it has already been in a show. It was in the Microsoft and Xbox Tokyo Game Show from, I want to say, last year. Was it last year? Yeah, but it's been kind of MIA since then. So people were expecting to see this game, but not in the way that what actually happened. So my problem with the way they've done this, and releasing Octopath Traveler 2 on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, which it wasn't on before it was only on Xbox, Switch and Steam. My problem with Square Enix now, I feel like they know in advance that these games are not going to sell a lot. So there's a couple of reasons why they're not going to sell a lot, right? The first thing, obviously, Octopath Traveler 2 going into Game Pass is not going to sell on Xbox. It's probably not going to get much engagement in Game Pass, because the first game didn't. They did put the first game back into Game Passes as well, but this is just Microsoft paying a bag to Square Enix to do this. Square Enix wouldn't have just done this off their own back, obviously. They never do anything off their own back. That's the first thing. So that one wouldn't have sold a lot anyway. Octopath Traveler 2 is already way behind in terms of sales, the sales pace of Octopath Traveler 1. Okay, if you remember, Octopath Traveler 2 has sold over 3 million. The majority of that was on Switch, with a good chunk on Steam. But basically nothing on Xbox, because it was on Game Pass, right? Octopath Traveler 2, which launched multi-platform, is far behind what Octopath Traveler 1 achieved. And we have discussed this before. This music's actually, I love Octopath Traveler music, but it's just loud as hell. Loud as hell. I have this. I'm gonna take some pictures actually of my Octopath Traveler collection I have, and my Team Asano collection. I'll probably do that tomorrow or something, and then show you the stuff that I've been collecting over the years. But anyway, where did I get to? Yeah. So Octopath Traveler 2 is far behind pace in terms of sales of Octopath Traveler 1. So we got a 1 million announcement. Great. Okay. But Octopath Traveler 2 achieved, I think it achieved 1 million in like, was it 3 weeks or something? Someone reminds me. Where's J Arthur? J Arthur just cut and run. J Arthur cut and run. Oh no. J Arthur usually knows this stuff. Keycare only knows stuff about Sonic for some reason. Yeshua might know. Red Hood only cares about Persona, so they don't know. They're the people. Shout outs to Keycare, Yeshua, and Red Hood, who are currently with me in the audience. So yeah, the sales pace is far behind, and I do not think that Square Enix made Octopath Traveler 2 multi-platform at launch, knowing in advance that it was going to be behind the sales pace of Octopath Traveler 1. Now, I had some bright people on Twitter tell me that, oh yes, Square Enix knew in advance that when they launched Octopath Traveler 2, that it was going to sell less than Octopath Traveler 1. Yeah, they definitely knew that. Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. No, they thought it would sell more, and by all accounts, Octopath Traveler 2 is a better game than Octopath Traveler 1. So it should not be selling less than the first game. That's the first thing. Now, Square Enix gave like a press release as well with the sales of these two games, and we can already tell you what the sales are because we already know. They didn't give, this wasn't an updated figure, right? So the sales that we had was 3 million for Octopath Traveler 1 and then 1 million for Octopath Traveler 2. Total 4 million. Octopath Traveler 1 they released on PlayStation, right? At full price. This game is what, 7 years old? 7 years old? They released it at full price. Who in the hell in their right mind is going to play full price? Yes, it's $60, Red Hoods. Did you not know that? They launched it at $60. You didn't know? Yes. Clever, great Square Enix, right? The other thing, so that's at $60. They did this, they've done this double pack thing, right? So this double pack thing that they said they're oh god, where's it? I don't even have it open on here, right? So both games you can buy digitally. Octopath Traveler 1 and Octopath Traveler 2, you can buy them digitally on all platforms for I think it's like $74, which is still kind of pricey, I think, and it's digital only. So obviously Octopath Traveler 1 had no physical on Xbox. Octopath Traveler 2 has no physical on Xbox, and they've launched Octopath Traveler 1 with no physical on PlayStation. So the only place you can get a physical copy of Octopath Traveler 1 is on Switch. Sad to say, but that's what Square Enix decided to do. Yeah. So those physicals, yeah, get Octopath Traveler 1 physically on the Switch. I actually have the collector's edition for that because that collector's edition is pricey now. And at the time it was like fairly cheap because it was published by Nintendo and they don't unlike Square Enix, $300 for their goddamn no, it was £300 for their collector's editions. No, Nintendo does a more reasonable, it was like maybe 80, was it 70, 80 pounds, maybe 80 pounds, 70, 80 pounds collector's edition, and it's got this thing that opens up. When you open it up, it's like a pop-up book. There's a pop-up book inside of it, so you can see little scenes from the game open up in a pop-up book, and it's highly collectible now. So I think it's worth a good bit of money. But that collector's edition. So there is no other collector's edition for LRG are not doing FOMO physical games for Octopath Traveler. It's not gonna happen. Because Square Enix, but I'll be honest with you, Square Enix doesn't care enough. I don't even know if Square Enix really works with limited run games anyway, and because the games are all like, no one's going to care about getting those from the physicals from limited run games for old games. Like they're not in demands like that. No one's going to buy them on Xbox. People aren't going to care. They're not even going to want to buy it digitally for full price on PlayStation. So my issue is them doing this with no promotion. We thought it was going to be on the Xbox thing. It's not. Maybe they will still show it in there, but what's the point when it's already released? Like, when did they go, oh, well, this game came out 2 days ago? That's not usually what happens, right? So that's not... I don't think it's going to be on the Xbox thing. There doesn't seem to be any point in that now. It's already out. It's like out. There's not even no point in it. Like, not announcement. It's out. I don't think, the other place we thought they could be at Summer Games Fest. Again, they're already out, so that seems unlikely. So all the promotion they've had, that's it. So here's my main problem with this. I feel like Square Enix has used Octopath Traveler as their sacrificial lamb to prove to investors that they're multi-platform. So to be clear, as I already said, these games should be multi-platform. They were already by the way, these games were already multi-platform. They were just, one was missing on one platform and one was missing on the other platform, but they were multi-platform games already, right? They just filling in the gaps. But then by doing it like this, then this is along with the already low sales for Octopath Traveler 2, which they acknowledged in their their investors report. They acknowledged Octopath, not the last one, whichever one that the quarter was that in. Was it the last one or the one before? They acknowledged that the sales were low. You know, they said all this stuff underperformed. We already know all their triple A games are underperforming. This tune's which tune is this? One's really good. Ophelia the Cleric from Octopath Traveler. This one's good. I really like this one. So I feel like basically this was like, I feel like they're doing all the ports that are really quick and easy to do, right? I think it's probably quick and easy to knock up ports of Octopath Traveler, their Unreal Engine 4 games. It's probably quick and probably doesn't cost too much money. But the lack of promotion, I feel like they're using it as a sacrificial lamb to just prove to investors that I think they already know in advance that these games are not going to sell a lot at this stage. If they thought they were going to like sell decently, they wouldn't have priced Octopath Traveler 1 at $60. Why are you doing it? Why are you playing? There's not even a physical. Maybe if you made a physical of Octopath Traveler 1 on PlayStation, maybe then I can understand. Maybe it needs to be worth it, but they've not even made a physical for Octopath Traveler 1. Like I said, the only way you can get a physical of Octopath Traveler 1 is on Switch, because obviously there's no physical on the PC. So it's literally the only way. So I feel like Octopath Traveler, and the thing is, the reason why I'm ranting about it is because when our Final Fantasy is flip-flopping, new IP Forspoken, nobody cared about Forspoken anyway. I don't have an emotional attachment to something like Final Fantasy. I never really had my own PlayStation growing up, so I didn't really play them when I was younger. But Octopath Traveler was born in the era that I started playing games again. You know, this was when I started getting into games again. When this game came out in, I think it was 2018. You know, this is when I started getting back into stuff again. So this for me and Team Asana and their other games are games that do really appeal to me. And so the first Final Fantasy, I was like, oh yeah, I would say like no offense to Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy has been going downhill for years. Okay, I didn't care. All right. I don't care. It's Final Fantasy, whatever. This is Square Enix, right? I don't care, right? When Legend of not Legend of Mana, was it Visions of Mana? Visions of Mana was announced, right? Vinnie Mac, a member of our community, who's not here, by the way, got all riled up, right? He got all riled up. He did a long old text rant in our Discord server. He came. We had a. I think he organized one discussion in our voice chat. I think he even organized one. And went and said, "Oh no, now Visions of Mana. Why? Because he was annoyed that they decided to release this game without a Switch version, which is probably means it's gonna underperform. I can already tell you that it's not gonna do what Square Enix wants it to do, especially in Japan. It's like, eh. So the problem is that Square Enix, with their previous choices for what they've done with the Mana IP, is basically releasing a lot of them over the years. I think most of them on Nintendo platforms, right? And then not releasing the latest one on the Switch. Some people are saying it's going to be on Switch 2, and that's fine. It might be a late port on Switch 2, but Switch 2 is not out, and it has an install base of 0. Meanwhile, Switch 1 has 140 million sold worldwide. 33 million in Japan alone. So, and I did a show called Square Enix wants Haruto to buy Visions of Mana. He's not gonna buy it, and because they made this whole ass long ad, like 5-minute long ad, right, with different actors in a Japanese ad specifically for people in Japan, pushing on their nostalgia, yeah. Because there was, I think, the early games, or there was which one? Trials of Mana was only, and some other ones as well, were only released in Japan. So there were some games featured in there that only released in Japan, or in a time frame that obviously they released earlier in Japan as well, right? So it was showing a little, and it didn't make any sense because you showed a little boy in the 90s and then he still looks like he's in his 20s in 2024. It made no sense, right? So they did this long ass ad, right? Showing a boy growing up over years, and our joke that we have is we called him Haruto. Obviously that's not his name. He's never named in the thing, but that's what we called him. And that's because comes from Maridk, another member of our community. Shouts out to Maridk. He's not here. He's on holiday. I think he's gone to Turkey. Oh my god, there's people in the chat. I wasn't even seeing your chat. Technically, it's $70 is full price now. It's full price now, says Jatinder Singh. But are they selling it for $70 though? Are they actually set? Because I thought it was just $60 on PlayStation. Well, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Are they selling it for $70? I know you're saying $70 is like the new, but what I mean is that the Octopath Traveler obviously was originally $60, so it's full price for that. Jatinder Singh also says, I'm glad I've got Octopath Traveler 1 Collector's Edition. It was like 80 quid. Yeah, it's a really, really, really nice Collector's Edition that I think is actually really pricey now. And it, like I said, it opens up like a pop-up book. It looks really nice. KY Han, welcome. They should have put it on iOS unironically. Yeah, they could have done. But they've got the Octopath Traveler. Well, actually, that's probably why they didn't do it. Because they have Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent, which is their mobile game. Which is like, it's full of gacha nonsense, but the actual game mechanics are actually good. You can actually play with 8 people in your party on that one, which you can't on the mainline games, despite it being called Octopath Traveler. You can't have all 8 in your team at the same time. In that one you can, and it's pretty good because you switch backwards. You have just them in a row of 4, and you switch backwards and forwards between the first row and the second row, the people in the first row and the second row. But yeah, I think that's the reason why, because if they put them on, first of all, like, putting full price games on mobile is not a good idea anyway. They don't really sell. But they wouldn't want to put this in direct competition with that mobile game. So I think that's why they didn't do it. KY says iOS with touch controls. Hit me with Octopath Traveler 3 on Nintendo Direct, please. Or they ain't got it's too soon to announce that. Or Live Alive. Probably too soon to announce that. Or 2. Well, Live Alive's already out. You mean Live Alive 2? Well, did you see that video that they made? What's the dude's name who's the director? My mind's gone blank. They made Square Enix made him do this lame video on Twitter saying, "Oh, if Live Alive sells 1 million, we will do a sequel if Live Alive sells 1 million on PlayStation and Steam." And he specifically said that, even though the game had already sold 500,000 on Switch. So if he'd have said 1 million overall, it wouldn't have been as bad. Because you're like, oh yeah, it could get there. But no, he said 1 million only on Steam and PlayStation. I don't know why. Then they will make a sequel. So that's what he said. And I don't think that game's got to 1 million because they would have announced it. Like 1 million overall. They haven't even said that. Jatinder says, no, I was just making a joke that's it is in full price. Oh, that isn't full price anymore. Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, welcome. KY, are you a member of our community? I don't recognise your username at all. So we have a Discord server. I think there's a link in the description. When I'm referring to our community, that's what I'm talking about, our Discord server. So I'm in the server now at the moment. Foe on Discord says, well, actually, first Red Hood says, I'm sure their Final Fantasy IX remake will revive their AAA. No, that's why you put. I know why you put the laughing emojis, because you can't even say that with a straight face. First of all, I don't think they're even putting AAA money into it. Well, that's okay. I'm gonna say that's the rumor that it's not going to be like a Final Fantasy VII remake type thing. It's going to be more like faithful and stuff like that. Yeah, no. But I tell you what, if they manage to get that on a Nintendo console, it will sell more in Japan than Final Fantasy VII. So well, at least Final, but they're more than Rebirth anyway, and probably more than what's the other one? 16. Foe says, so if Sony finally gets Octopath Traveler 1 on their platform after 7 years and Octopath Traveler 2 released on Xbox, what does Nintendo get as a shadow drop from Square? Probably nothing. Square Enix doesn't shadow drop brand new games on. Oh, you mean like an old game? They don't really shadow drop. Oh, not in a direct announcement. This is like Square Enix shadow dropping thing. The other thing they shadow dropped, which is a game dumb. They shadow dropped Dragon Quest Builders 1 on Steam with no announcement, no nothing. I think that maybe they tweeted about it. And I think it had a peak concurrent players of like 700. I'm not even joking. I wish I was joking. I'm not joking. They shadow dropped it. Hello, 1000 Year J2. Hello, welcome. Destroyer of Worlds, Godslayer here. Hi, Godslayer. I am going by my other name here. Square must be smoking to shadow drop Octopath Traveler 1 for PS and Octopath Traveler 2 on Xbox. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if you was here earlier. Shall I call you God? I'll just call you Godslayer. It's easier to say. I'm not sure if you was here earlier, Godslayer. But I feel like that they use Octopath Traveler as their sacrificial lamb. Because they already knew in advance that the way they did this and just shadow dropped them like that, they're not going to sell a lot. I feel like they already knew that in advance. Especially because the sales of Octopath Traveler 2 were underwhelming, very underwhelming compared to the first game. Like the game had no legs and it dropped off a cliff. Right? So, yeah. What they were thinking is that they've said to investors, we're going to be aggressively multi-platform. They're using this game because it's probably a quick, easy port to prove that. you know. And what's the easiest, quickest thing to do is to just, the cheapest, to just shadow drop them with no promotion. But this isn't the first time they've done this. As I was just saying, they did it with Dragon Quest Builders 1. I think 2 was already on Steam. Hang on, let me look at Steam DB. I'm gonna look at Steam DB. Oh god, I need to drop this goddamn microphone. Oh god, get this off the my goddamn screen. Okay, so they shadow dropped Dragon Quest Builders 1. And their mismanagement of Dragon Quest, oh my god. I don't know how long you want me to be here, but you can be started on that. Okay, where's Dragon Quest Builders? So here it is. So this is the one they oh my god. They shadow dropped this, right? On Steam. So obviously the game had already been out for years on other platforms, but it wasn't. I think it wasn't on Steam. That's the other thing. Why wasn't it on Steam in the first place? Who the hell knows? But it wasn't on Steam. So you can see there's currently 15 in game. Does it say the release date on here? No, where's the release date? So this is when they released it on Steam. 13th of February 2024, 4 months ago. So bear in mind, this game had been out for years. When did it first come out? Does anyone know? I can't remember. Anyway, it was years ago. So it was years ago. So here's 15 in game, right? That seems low. So where's the stats bit? Oh god, hang on. Oh no, I need to click here. Charts. Yeah, look at this. Alright. This is their clever shadow drop strategy. As you can see here, all-time peak 711. Does it seem like this was a success on Steam? Does it seem like it's a good idea to shadow drop your games with no promotion? I think maybe there was a tweet about this, if that. I don't remember there being anything else. 24-hour peak 62, players right now 15. Pathetic, absolutely pathetic. And we can look at some. Can you search by publisher on here, or can you filter by publisher? Oh god, no! It's gonna bring up a million things if I do that. Oh, it has brought up a million things. Oh no, I don't want to do that. What are their most recent release? Okay. Kingdom Hearts, which they've put on here. Oh, that's another. Oh my god. I'm getting started now. Why in the hell was Kingdom Hearts locked on Epic Game Store for like three years? Why wasn't it released on Steam? It was the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. Only now are they going to release it on Steam. As you can see, it's I think it's there for pre-order. That's another thing. Only just releasing it on Steam now is absolutely ridiculous. Saga Emerald Beyond. This is another game that flopped. There's another clever Square Enix flop right here. Square Enix flippity flop. Let's look at their flippity flop flops. Let's look at this. Alright? This game released. When did it release? Like a couple of months ago? Last month, 25th of April. Look at the pick players for this. 1698. 1698 for this game. I know it's a smaller type of release. The Saga isn't one of the biggest IP, but that seems pathetic. That seems pathetic. And the game isn't even that expensive. It's it was priced. What was it? It was like $39.99. But this is in pounds, by the way, because I'm in the UK. I think it's $39.99, didn't it? So what's that? Like $50? $50? I don't know. Oh, sorry, Fo says when they optimized Kingdom Hearts game for Steam, but gave Nintendo a cloud version. Yeah, here's the thing, like yeah. So for those who don't know, I think it was when Sora was announced for Smash at the same time they released Kingdom Hearts game, or they announced Kingdom Hearts game. So at first you're like, yes, Yes, Kingdom Hearts. You put that as great promotion. Yes, great Square Enix. Then they're like, oh no, they're all cloud versions. All of them. Including the ones that were from the PS2, the PSP, the 3DS, the DS, the Game Boy Advance, or whatever. All goddamn cloud versions. 3, Kingdom Hearts 3 I can understand. That was a PS4 game that's like an action RPG that needs to kind of run smoothly and stuff like that. That one you can kind of understand being a cloud version. The other games did not need to be cloud versions. They could all run natively on Switch. Now, I think the reason they did this was for cheapness, laziness. They wanted it as cheap as possible, and they did this cloud thing. Yeah, I think they literally didn't want to. They literally didn't want to put the money in. The other thing is, like, and I don't know what the listing is, but I remember at the time when the listing on the eShop, there was like this bundle. I can't remember the name of the bundle. There was some bundle that was on there that had all of the games together. The 2.5 or 2.8, whatever it's called, I can't remember what it's called now, pack plus Kingdom Hearts 3, and it was a bundle. And I think the reason why they wanted to do those cloud versions and everything so they could make that bundle. So because I don't know if that you could bundle together. It's probably not a way. I don't think you can bundle together a native version with a cloud version. Like maybe there's like logistically there isn't a way to do that because they're coming from different services, because the people that do they've got a contract basically with the people that provide the cloud services. So maybe like legally or logistically you just can't do that. So they just made them all goddamn cloud versions so they could do their expensive as hell $100 whatever it was bundle. I'm telling you, that's the goddamn reason. Red Hood says, I don't know, Jodie. Besides, tell why Kingdom Hearts and Nintendo Switch are cloud versions of the game. Like I said, I think it's because of that goddamn bundle, because they wanted to sell that bundle. That's what I think the reason was. It's their greed. That's what it was. I think they did it because it's been too long since they had an L, so that's why the cloud versions of the game are on the Switch. Yeah, but that L was back in, what was that, 2 years ago or something? That was not a recent L. Oh, don't worry, they've got fresh L's for you, Red Turn. You don't have to be worried about that. Their latest L was just last night. Destroyer of Worlds says, I believe this as well. Destroyer of Worlds, please tell me what you're responding to, because I've been ranting without looking at that text for a little while. Sorry. Jatinder Singh says, even a week of builds, a trailer, and a few tweets would be something. Yeah. They did nothing. I'm talking about well, any of the games it could apply to. It could apply to Octopath Traveler or Dragon Quest Builders. Or, yeah, they barely promoted Saga Emeralds, which is why that flopped. But yeah, like to see their wonderful flops here on Steam DB. Their peak, the highest peak they ever had was Life is Strange. What the hell? Was that the highest peak game that they ever had? On Steam, Life is Strange? What? Is that the highest peak game that they ever had, Life is Strange? Yeah, that's not what I thought that would have been, but I guess so. I guess, yeah, if you think about it, they don't release their big games on Steam. Not day one. And then Outriders, which did fairly well at the time, but I think now... wait, did it do okay? I think it did okay, didn't it? Well, it did okay on Xbox because it was in Game Pass. But it didn't really survive. I think Square Enix basically screwed over the developers. Anyway, I wanted to see which was like their but it includes DLC on here, unfortunately. I wanted to see what their lowest performing games were, but it includes all this DLC, look. They're listed as like games. Oh my god, there's so many, there's just so many L's, like Dissidia, another franchise they messed up. Oh man, look at all this DLC, good lord. hang on, they made 1 million Arthur VR? Oh my god. I didn't even know that. Right, okay. I'm trying to... Wait, hang on, what's this? Are these games? Oh, that's a video. Scary Girl. Is this their lowest ever performing game? It had a peak of 6. It had a peak of 6. So this is Square Enix's long... Well, this is the game. Tales of Wedding Rings VR. This is a game. At a peak of 5. King's Game Final Fantasy 15 Nihongo. So this is the... I guess it's Nihongo... like, text version. Or the Japanese text version. 5. Because I guess it's just a video with Japanese text on it. Scary Girl. 6. These are demos. So those performed lower than their demos. These like Forgotten and demos. 7. What are these peaks? The Centennial. Okay, these are all demos. Oh my god, what are these games they released here? Okay, these are demos. Spelunker Party. Did they publish that? 20. Man, they've had a lot of stinkers down here. What the hell? Some of these are actual games. Conflict Denied Ops. What are these games? Mensa Academy. 24, 31. What on earth are these games? Lost Spare demo. Yeah, these are demos. I just wanted to see what their lowest performing games were. Live Alive demo version. 78 people demoed it. Oh lord. Team made a demo. Okay, these demos. You'd think more Various Day Life, the game. Oh my god, it had a peak of 91. Various Day Life had a peak of 91 on Steam. Oh my god. That's a game that Team Asano made for Apple Arcade. Oh my god. Collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend. A peak of 100 oh my god. 123. Balan Wonderworld. A peak of 124. Oh god. What, these Voice of Cards games had flopped here as well? Peak of the 212. Oh my god, what the hell? Lost Sphere. That was by that Tokyo RPG factory that kind of folded eventually. Peak of 245. Oh my god. Just Cause. Peak of 309. Maybe that was like a re-release of an older. Yeah, these Voice of Cards flopped. Oh my god. Okay, these are demos. Some of these are like small games. This one is really sad. This one saddens me. This is what I mean about like Live Alive flopping on Steam, and oh my god, Adventures of Die. Okay, oh my god, don't get me started on Adventures of Die. I'm trying to remain calm. I'm trying to remain calm. Okay, Live Alive, right? They did this game. Did this game a dirty. As you can see, it flopped on Steam. It completely flopped. It's sad. It's really sad. So it had a peak of 472 when it released, so just over a year ago. 28 players in the last 24 hours. 9 players now. Sad. 472 for that game on Steam. There's just no way that game should have been that low on Steam. There's just no way. What are the estimated sales? Oh wow, estimated sales are as low as 14,000 or as high as 56,000. That's what it sold on Steam. That's sad. That's not what you really want to be saying. So another game that this game flopped everywhere. So this is their mismanagement of the Dragon Quest IP. Okay, so this is oh my god, this game really flopped. It flopped everywhere. So this is Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai Infinity Strash. This game, this was planned alongside a remake of the anime, and I think they re-released the manga as well. The anime was beautifully made. It looked really, really good. So I encourage you to go watch it. It's a really good anime. And they did the game a dirty. Basically, they did the game a dirty. The game basically is kind of like half baked in terms of that it doesn't tell the entire story of what happens in the manga and anime. It just like stops somewhere at some point and just doesn't continue. And this game's never going to get a sequel. The other thing that people didn't like, and you can see it's only got a 45% rating on Steam. The other thing people didn't like was that the cutscene were just still images from. I think the cutscenes were still images from the anime. They didn't even put scenes in from the anime. It was still images from the anime. Likely because they didn't want to play the license to, I think it was Toei Animation. Because if you want like actual clips from an anime rather than just still images, it costs more. So likely because they didn't want to pay that. So that's the other thing. I don't know why they chose this name, Infinity Strash. It didn't make no sense to me. If you watch the anime, it's called Arven, or what they say like Arven in the show, but it's like Arven, their master or whatever, their sensei. It's called like an Arven Strash. But maybe that wouldn't make sense to people because you don't know who the characters is, so they called it Infinity Strash. It doesn't even make sense because what is a strash? I don't know what's a strash. Tell me what strash is. It's like it is in the anime. It's just like an attacky. It's like that is attacky does. But I don't know. But anyway, the name doesn't. I don't know if the name really makes any sense. But yeah, they did this game. They did this game a dirty. And it's annoying because I watched the anime afterwards, and the anime is good. The anime is good. Let me see. Hello, Dank Meme Center. Welcome, Mazio. Didn't even know Live Alive was on Steam. Well, you know why you didn't know Live Alive was on Steam, don't you? Because Square Enix didn't bloody promote it. That's why. And I was interested in that game. Please still do check it out. Do check it out. There is a demo. There's a demo on Steam and a demo on Switch. So you don't even need to pay money. Just check out the demo. Thank Meme Center. And I keep when I listen back to this, I'm gonna hear my voice going all over the place. I'm getting cross. The epic rant of Square Enix. I have to rant about Square Enix. I have to. They did this game a dirty. How they managed to come up with that beautiful anime. I encourage you to watch the anime. It's so well made, right? And then F up the game, which flopped everywhere on every single platform. It flopped everywhere. Yeah. Look, so free in game right now. That's a skull emoji if I ever did see one. Skull emojis in the chat. Let's see what was the peak? What was the peak again? 488. Oh my god. It had, get out of here. It had a 24-hour peak of 4 free players right now. This is what it's averaging right now. 488 was the all-time peak where it must have been at launch. If your game's doing that at launch, that's pathetic. That's absolutely pathetic. So that's another one of their recent. That's what I'm saying about all their recent games flopping. Everything flopping. So that's a sad one. This stupid thing they made, this AI they made oh, that's a good idea. They made this AI to demonstrate they made this thing to demonstrate their AI that they're trying to do. Yeah, you see, this is free, by the way. You don't have to pay for this. It's free. Got a 20% rating because it didn't work. And I'm trying so hard to swear. It didn't work. It didn't work. That was the thing. So 1 in-app because this is bad. So it just takes, and I think this is one of Yuji Hoi's one of his early visual novels that he made back in the day, right? On the Famicom or something, right? And yeah, so they effed this up as well. A free application to demonstrate their AI, they effed up. They effed that up too. They effed it up. So the AI thing that you're supposed to go through to play the game didn't work. Didn't work. Another set again demonstrating how they've messed up the Dragon Quest IP, how they've done it dirty. Alright? There's no reason why your Dragon Quest spin-off should be flopping like this. The only one that didn't flop recently was what's it called? Dragon Quest Monsters. Dragon Quest Monsters 3 did well. This one, Dragon Quest Treasures, another flop. Another flop. Let's see what the had a peak concurrent of 562. That doesn't seem good, does it? That doesn't seem good. On any measure, by any measure. What's the estimated sales? Look at the estimated sales in here. As low as 6.4 thousand, as high as like 22.2 thousand. Before people start, I know that these things aren't like 100% accurate, but they're not going to be off by by a factor of 500,000. This game sold low. It flopped. It flopped. There was no need for this game to flop. This game, which a lot of people believe probably may have started off as a Monsters project, turned into something else. This is what people this is just speculation, what people think. It wasn't what people were looking for, and again their promotion was pathetic. So the result is this low rating, 73%, and even lower sales. This is Square Enix. And you'll notice something, that these games that I'm pointing out that are low selling all came out recently. So Square Enix L's, they're just not stopping. They're not stopping. This is, yeah, look, because when they did this, look, it says Final Fantasy V old version. Yeah, because when they put the goddamn Pixel Masters out, remasters out, they pulled these ones off of Steam. They pulled them. I'm pretty sure they pulled them, right? So this is this Dragon Quest Buildings that they sent that out to die. Paranormal site. Apparently this was good. Sent it out to die again. 700 peak of 723. Valkyrie Elysium. You know, it's another thing. Another recent game. Let's have a look at this. Valkyrie Elysium. This IP, Valkyrie Profile, been gone for years and years and years and years. Bring it back. Okay, bring it back. Great. You bring back Valkyrie Profile, right? Valkyrie Profile was this turn-based game. It was a turn-based RPG with kind of a quite interesting and unique battle system, which I won't go into here. But anyway, it was a turn-based game, right? For whatever reason, Square Enix decided to bring it back as an action RPG. Who's this for, Square Enix? Who was asking for Valkyrie Profile action RPG? And then mid's one out of that. It's mid. It's got the rating of 61% on Steam. It's mid. This is the thing, right? This is the thing. And a meme for the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna open this up in the browser in a sec, Roche. A meme for the stream. I'm gonna put that meme on, right? Flop. Now this game released also on PlayStation and seemed to underperform there as well. It didn't do well. When they released this, they also released one of the PSP, I think it's Valkyrie Profile Lilith, the PSP game, or the PSP version of that game. they released it onto the PS Plus or PS Premium. I forgot what it's called. PS Plus Premium service. But I think you might be able to buy it as well. But that's only on PlayStation because it uses their emulator. So they're emulating it, basically. They're emulating it. So yeah. So they released that. And I remember at the time, I remember it being it was delayed. It was meant to come out at the same time as Valkyrie Elysium, and I remember it being delayed for some reason. I think Square Enix blamed PlayStation. Does anyone remember that? I feel like they blamed them and they said, oh, because the PSP emulator thing isn't ready or something like that. I seem to recall something like that. It was delayed, yeah. It was delayed, wasn't it? Yes, you are. I remember it being delayed. Jatinder says, I got gifted Treasure for free. Well, that's good if you got it for free. Still, I haven't played it because I don't care, and Dragon Quest is... Oh, you don't care. Dragon Quest is my favourite RPG series. The power of Square Enix. Yeah, the L's of Square Enix. Mazio says, the best thing Square released was Paranormal Sight, and that was a horror visual novel, not even an RPG. So, now someone, I'm going to try and credit them, said something on... Someone on Install Base forum said something that really struck a chord with me, and they said something, and I was like, oh my god, they've hit it on the nail. What one of the major issues with modern day Square Enix is. Get rid of this stupid thing. One of the major issues of modern day Square Enix. Firstly, so when the music is rousing, like this is why I don't play pipe music, because it gets loud in your ear, in my ear holes. It's loud in my ear holes, so I don't care if you can barely hear this. It's too... I'm gonna turn it down here. It's too loud for me. Actually, no, I'm gonna turn it up for you and turn it down for me on my monitor. Okay. It's just too loud. It's too loud. So someone said something on Install Base, and I was like, oh my god, that's so true. That's so true. And what you need to remember is Square Enix, they're living in a fantasy world. So the world they're living in, it's like 1990 in their world. For the rest of us, it's 2024. For them, it's like 1990. Okay? It's not 1990. It's like 1990. It's 1997 or 2000, 2001 in their world. That's what they think it is. Atlas is living in 2005. They're living in the bloody 1997, 2000. That's where Square Enix is living. That's what the world they think it is. Back then, Square Enix were the premier Japanese RPG developer. They were the biggest one. In fact, this is before they were just Squaresoft, right? Were one of the premier RPG developers. Okay, right? Now, that was then. They're not now. They are a pale shadow of their former selves, but they still think that they're kingmakers. They still like to play kingmaker. And the thing is, someone pointed this out on Install Base, and I want to give the person credit, but I can't. Did I bookmark it or not? If I bookmarked it, I will give them credit. Okay. Look, I put Square Enix L strategy. I saved it as Square Enix L strategy. Okay, so someone said this, and I'm like, oh my god, they hit a nail on the head. So I want to credit this person. That it's not original idea of my own, okay? Okay. So this person is called Sayers on Install Base. And I'm gonna read what they said word for word. There's two major problems here that they pointed out, right? The first one was the first bit is I wasn't actually aware of this. They've said this, and now that they've said this, I'm like, oh my god, that makes no sense whatsoever. So Sayers says, to me, the biggest failure of Square Enix is the simple questionable premise that the company is building their games around. They stated that their primary goal within the console division is to introduce console gamers to their ecosystem and transition them to their mobile business to get them to become high spenders. Right? So they consider their primary ecosystem and what they want to push people to be mobile, not their console games, mobile. They want them to get them there to be high spenders. And this actually put me in mind a little bit of Nintendo and their strategy for mobile. Now, Nintendo has not been all that successful on mobile. They had what's it called again? Fire Emblem Heroes, I think, is their most successful one. The Pokemon games are, of course, neither made nor published by them. They do get a share of the games because overall they own like that 32% or something of the Pokemon company, but they do not make or publish the Pokemon games. That music stopped. They don't make or publish the Pokemon games, so it's that better not be a Dragalia Lost gift, Kike. That better not be that, and gifts aren't even playing on my thing because I don't have that. That better not be. What is that? Is that Dragalia Lost? That better not be what that is. You know how I feel about that. It's dead. Let it go, Kike. It's dead. You're not getting that back. Okay. He loves that game. I don't know why. It's completely rubbish. I played it. It's like Pokemon Rumble. What was that? Pokemon Rumble. Is it Pokemon Rumble, the one where it's just like a button mash thing where you just run into Pokemon? Was that called Pokemon Rumble? I think it was. It's like that. Like a top-down thing. How dare you compare Dragalia to Pokemon Mobile? It's basically the same thing, Kike. It's just that. Oh my god. I'm not starting on this again. Right? So anyway, Nintendo has not been really all that successful on mobile, considering their big IP, and like they've really slowed down their mobile output. At first, when they first started doing it, and I know it's something they did to appease investors as well. They was like, "Oh, we're putting out 2 new mobile titles a year." Well, that stopped as soon as the Switch started taking off. All those mobile games started drying up, and the most recent new one they put out was Pikmin Bloom. But even then, that one was made by Niantic. It wasn't made by them, and it's just Pokemon Go, but with Pikmin and lamer. So yeah, it's Niantic with their AR geo tracking software that they have, basically. That they just put that stuff on top of like Ingress. What's it called? Ingress, that game that they had originally. Anyway, why it reminded me of that, because it's kind of the reverse of what Nintendo has stated their strategy of. So Nintendo has stated that their strategy is with the mobile games was to introduce people to those IP, right? And then the idea is that you then get them to go to their hardware and buy their games on their hardware, right? So that's what they stated that their goal is with that. Okay, and you could also bring up something. I'm pretty sure PlayStation have said, or SIE have said, that their goal with putting some of their games on PC, but not day and date, is so that people want to go and buy PlayStations to play the sequels or something like that. Didn't Herman Hulse or someone say something like, or maybe it was Jim Bryan that said something like that? Okay. So yeah. So that's just like, wait, what? That's your goal? You want console gamers to introduce console gamers to their ecosystem? So they consider their ecosystem to be mobile. Then, if what this person's saying is correct, and get them to become high spenders, right? So anyway, Sayers continues. Then, why is and was there such a huge discrepancy between divisions in terms of gameplay? There was a clear shift in terms of gameplay direction with the console towards action-based gameplay. On the other hand, the mobile division primarily provides turn-based / classic gameplay experiences. There is no clear through line in the company, and it mostly comes down to likely comes down to the directors having too much say in that matter. So yeah, so I thought it was, I was like, oh my god, that is such a good point. If that's their primary thing that they're trying to do, but like over the years, all of their biggest games are now action RPGs. Obviously, apart from Dragon Quest. So obviously, Kingdom Hearts always was an action RPG. Then you shifted Final Fantasy to being an action RPG. Even I just brought up Valkyrie Profile. You released that as an action RPG. What's the other one? Final Fantasy. What's the other one? Valkyrie Profile. Oh yeah, and then you released a new AAA IP, Forspoken, another action game. So all your biggest games are action, but you want those console players to go to play your mobile games, which are all like turn-based and more traditional. If you look at basically almost all of their mobile games are like that, are more traditional and turn-based. So it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make it's disjointed. It's disjointed. It would have made sense several years back before all of their games started becoming action RPGs. Now it makes less sense. Of what those people that play those big, not only that, there's now a bigger gap between what you can do on a. I know you can do pretty impressive things on mobile, but in terms of like making a stable gameplay experience that the most people can access. So yes, with the most powerful mobile phones, you can play, Resident Evil 7, but most of the market doesn't have those phones. Okay, most of the market has lower, much lower powered devices, and you want to appeal to the biggest market possible, which is why most mobile games can run on low powered phones. They make them so they can run on low powered phones, so you can get the most people to play them, right? So that's what two things that this person pointed out, and I was like, oh yeah. They continue. There's another good point I bring up as well. Not to mention the hubris to think that just because you are Square Enix, that you can simply change fundamentally a part of your gameplay and expect it to be exceptional, right? Creating action is way more demanding than developing turn-based games. It's more time-consuming, needs way more resources to make enemies, systems, testings, and so on. On top, action needs more innovation than turn-based systems. With turn-based systems, you can mash several mechanics and then have to make sure that balancing and pacing is fine, but the core gameplay is still button press. I kind of get what this. I'm not going to say that turn-based can't be innovative and stuff like that, but they are right saying that the core gameplay is you're still pressing a button, one button at a time to do different commands. With action, you simply can't have a button press be the same action all the time. If your system is not exceptional, for example, like From Software, then your fan base won't tolerate permanent reuse of systems and mechanics. Square Enix went from being basically masters of their craft to rookies and middle-of-the-pack action developers, and the sales numbers show that consumers saw through their ploy with almost every attempt to shove action down their throat. Okay? So basically, they went from, when it came to turn-based, they spent decades perfecting that, and they were like the top developers of like turn-based games, right? But they've gone over to all action. The problem is that there's a lot more competition than there was in general in games, and then a lot more competition in action with developers that make far better action games than what they do. I'm looking at you, Final Fantasy 16, same thing over and over again. Boring ass gameplay. I never finished that game. I couldn't do it. Yeah. So I thought they brought up really good points. About their shift to making everything action. You go from being a top developer in turn-based to just a mid one in action. Moreover, you have this thing of saying that you want your console division is to push people towards the mobile games, which you consider to be your ecosystem, but it has completely different gameplay for most of the games. It just doesn't add up, really. So I thought that person made really good points of that. Now I'm going to. Roche says they live in eternal copium thinking they won, but in the end, they know who really won in the end. Oh, okay, Square Enix. So yeah, Roche posted this meme that I love. Now somebody. This is enormous. I'll make this smaller. What the hell? I'll make this smaller. Okay, yeah. I guess somebody posted this on 4chan at some point. And this is Yamauchi. He was the old president of Nintendo. Somebody posted this. So it says, "Bow to the king, baby. Square Enix's downfall is something beautiful. You better start loving cartridges, you fucks." Okay? Which is which is funny because, like, yeah, if you know the story of why Square Enix fell out with Nintendo, it's because they wanted to stick with cartridges for the N64, and Nintendo wanted them to move over to CDs, which was much more cheaper medium with higher storage on it. But Nintendo didn't want to because they said it's going to make really long loading times, which is true, it did. But cartridges had limitations, and really it took Nintendo decades to recover with what happened, because basically PlayStation Sony ended up making PlayStation. Originally they was meant to make I think a CD add-on onto the Super Famicom, and then Nintendo kind of screwed them over and decided to go with Philips instead, or something. I think Philips or someone instead for the CD. And then I think they just ended up not making it anyway. And PlayStation and Sony were like, "Oh well, fine, we'll just make our own thing." And then that's how PlayStation was made. But then PlayStation went to all different third parties and then convinced them to make games for their device and not the N64, and then the rest is history, basically. So yeah, so this is a meme of the old Nintendo president, and yeah, no, it's funny because so Nintendo uses cartridges now. Now they're not really cartridges; they're game cards. Is what Nintendo called them. They're more like they're SD cards, basically. It's the same technology, but we colloquially refer to them as cartridges. Right, we call them cartridges even though they're not. Right, so that's why it's kind of funny. It's saying you better start loving cartridges. Right. Yeah, Square Enix's downfall. So yeah, Square Enix is just, they're not the kingmakers anymore. And I think when they started making these games, these games that flopped now, when they started making them 5, 6, 7 years ago, whenever it was, when they made these deals with Sony and stuff like that, I think they thought that the market would shift. I mean, mainly in Japan, because traditionally, like, a huge chunk of the sales of Final Fantasy have come from Japan, Now they won't even announce the sales. We got no sales announcements for Rebirth because it flopped, basically. But Final Fantasy VII Remake, it was like 3.5 million at launch, and then 1 million of that was from Japan at the time, right? And then you've got the sequels that can't even get half of that. So that's the situation. But Square Enix, up until recently, I think still thought that they are kingmakers. It's only with like successive flop that they're like, oh shit, because they've got investors to ask to as well. They're publicly traded companies. You can't just be having all your games flopping and like not investors be like, hey yo, what's going on here? What's going on here? What are you doing with me money? What are you doing with me money? So yeah. 1000 Year J2 says that guy's cooking. Who? Yamauchi? Yamauchi? Well, hang on. Where's the picture gone? God. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a funny picture, and that people. Yeah, so that's why it's like. Obviously, he was president when they fell out with Square Enix, right? So Square Enix has not released a brand new mainline Final Fantasy on Nintendo console at launch since Final Fantasy VI, basically. That was the last one. And then Square Enix hasn't made a lot of effort to sort of build an audience of Final Fantasy on Nintendo consoles. Now they have released stuff. They have released, they released like remakes and stuff on the Game Boy Advance. They released games for the DS and stuff like that. So they have released stuff, but it hasn't been enough, I don't think, to keep the IP relevant for a lot of people. If you don't release your newest games on basically the hardware that has the biggest proportion in Japan. Foe says in Discord, there was a document that explains in more detail the reason why the Sony Nintendo console never came to be. Someone I watched talked about in detail. Sony wanted more profit in the collaboration. I think it was originally 60-40. Nintendo was the 60%. Sony wanted to have 70-30, with Sony being 70% with the console and software, which also included in the first parties, that Sony would get 70% of the profit. They kind of wanted 70%. That's ridiculous. Why would they 70% of the profits? That's insane. What of including Nintendo first party titles, they wanted 70% of that? Can it really have been that high? Link me to that document, Fo. Because that seems insane. That can't be true. That they want 70%. That's not even reasonable. How would they get 70% if what they're mainly providing is the CD technology, not the games? Because they weren't making games back then. There might have been one or two. I don't think they really made games before the PlayStation. Maybe they did a couple of PC things or something. I don't think so. Link me to that document, please. I find that incredulous. Oh god, the whole ass. What? Oh my god. So I'm just looking at what people are posting in our Discord server, and what? A whole oh god, Xbox. Listen, I'm talking about Square Enix now. Xbox is a discussion for another day. I cannot. They are releasing everything everywhere. Oh wow. Yeah, I think once they release Halo on PlayStation, it's Jova, basically. Once that happens, they probably are going to do it. But we're definitely not here to talk about them. Right, so I'm going to be wrapping up my Square Enix discussion now, because it's almost 11 and I am starting to lose my voice a little bit, as you can probably hear. So, and I'm losing my train of thought, that's the other thing. If anybody has any questions, comments, please drop them in the chat, either on Discord or on YouTube. and I will get around and try and answer them as best as I can. So, in short, Square Enix, I think, has now come to start accepting that they're not a king. They're no longer a kingmaker, and they can't just brute force the Japanese market to change. Now, the other thing that came up today, and you're going to take this with a huge grain of salt, okay? Because I can't vouch for any of this or know that this person didn't make this up. So there's a member of our Discord server who says that they have some inside information or something. I don't know whether they do or not. It's just a rumor at this point. Basically, they said that some employees, some devs at Square Enix are just not happy that they've lost so big of a market share in Japan, that they've just gone down in Japan so much. I don't know if that's, I mean, it's kind of believable, but I can't vouch for what this person said. But they said it on my Discord server, so I literally have no idea. I literally have no idea. Some devs are not happy with the state of the company at the moment, this person says. They are extremely concerned that they are losing the Japanese market, and one of those 4chan leaks noting the cancelled games is true. So, Square Enix, we know that Square Enix cancelled some games recently because they put out a notice for their investors to say they had to write off, I think it was $140 million. Now, this person on our Discord server, whose name is Zero Drag, I honestly, I don't know where they're getting this information from. I don't know that this is made up. I don't know. Sorry, Zero Drag, you provided no evidence, whatever. You're just saying it's inside information. I simply can't just sit here and say this is just rumor. Don't know if it's true or not. What Zero Drag says, some of things that got cancelled: Strangers of Paradise 2. Which that one seems to me odd because Strangers of Paradise, that game didn't do all that well, did it? Anyway, Dragon Quest Builders 3. Don't know. Who developed the other two games? They were trying to revive. Harvestella 2 was canned. I can't even believe that a Harvestella 2 was being made because Harvestella flopped. Why would they be making a sequel to a game that flopped? That's what this person claims. Okay, on our server. Don't know if that's true. To me, that seems too easy because they were probably developing stuff that are not sequels. So that's all those things there are sequels. Were they developing all sequels, especially to something like Harvestella? Don't know if I believe that. Harvestella flopped. Why would they be developing a sequel to a flop? Harvestella was a complete flop. I don't know, man. Dragon Quest Builders, those games did well. I mean, not the one that they shadow dropped on Steam didn't, but in general, Harvestella was planned as a series. Says who? Planned by whom? Who developed that? Who developed Harvestella? Yeah, maybe it was planned. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Harvestella, the producer. But yeah, okay, you're saying the producer said that they may have planned it as a series, but if the game flopped, if it was not a financial success, you can't then make a series out of something that was financially not successful. That doesn't make any sense to me. It flopped. So what? How would? Yes, you can. The producers had all the power. Okay, but yeah, but they can't. Oh my god, that's part of it. I don't think it flopped. The producers had. I don't think they've got that much power to just making games. I mean, you can argue that they do, but who was the producer of Harvestella? That wasn't like that was like an outsourced game. That wasn't even like an internally developed, like a Final Fantasy or whatever. You don't think it flopped? I swear, the lead of the game was internal. Yes, the people that produced the leads are, but they still developed externally. Like all the leads of the Octopath Traveler or the Team Asano games, are into. They're all Square Enix employees, but they work with external developers to make the games. I don't know. Anyway, that's just what someone on our server claimed. Don't know if I believe all that about. I don't know if I believe about which games were canned, but it is believable that some employees at Square Enix are not happy, and that maybe they're not happy that they have gone down so much in Japan, but they decided not to support the market leader in Japan and just go for decades and not really supporting Nintendo consoles, which have had a bigger market share than PlayStation for decades, because you've got to include the handhelds with that, right? A bigger market share in Japan for decades, and then on top of that, having an audience of youngsters that were not really didn't have any attachment to the Final Fantasy IP or their other IPs. If you just put in old games out, re-releases or remasters or whatever, you know, it wasn't enough to capture them. The only series that did that was Dragon Quest, with things like the mainline games and like Dragon Quest Monsters, right? So, and which is why Dragon Quest is still very popular, still sells very well in Japan, unlike Final Fantasy. Of course, Dragon Quest is really always been more popular in Japan, but you get my point. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up if there's no further questions. Oh, Mazio says, if true that would stuck, Harvester was pretty good. Was it good? Yeah, it would suck, but it wouldn't surprise me if Harvester would be one of the IP that would not come back. Basically, if it was one of the things they sacrificed. Yeshua also says it was good. So here's the thing though. Like, the game flopped on Steam. I think we just looked at the Steam. Did we see it on here? On Steam? It flopped on here? Where did it go? Oh wait, I'm gonna have to like type it in the thing. Did we see the was it sold? Or what the peak concurrent players was? Oh my god, 40 now. So this was better than some of the other games. 3,395, so more than Live Alive and all the other ones we looked at. Dragon Quest Treasures. So it did a lot better than those games. What's the estimated sales? Let's have a look. Didn't sell that much though. Yeah, estimations between 63,000 and 78,800. So better than the other games, but not great. I don't think it's, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's not that. Yeah, most of the marketing was in the Nintendo Direct, and granted, I think that. No, actually, I was gonna say that it would. No, they released at the same time, didn't they? I thought it. No. The PC version and the Switch version released at the same time, didn't they? I was about to say this was a late port, but I don't think it was. This is 2 years ago, so it must have been the same time. Yeah, maybe they did release at the same time then. It was at the same time, but the marketing was done via Direct. But, you know, if this had been a late port, this would have sold, like, way... You know, this did better than the other games we looked at, right? Like, you know, Valkyrie Elysium and Dragon Quest Treasures and Dragon Quest Infinity Strash and all of this. Like, they all, like, hardcore flopped. this didn't do as bad as that. Like, not the best, but far better than those other games. The rating is okay. 75. I mean, that's got 61. But what's this one got? 68. So it's a little bit better than those two. Not the best, but it's a little bit better. I still don't think this is too great, but I don't know what's okay. But this is why I think it's flopped. They never announced sales for Harvestella, did they? There was never any sales update for this at all, and then it released in that period where Square Enix said they had games that they underperformed. They never announced sales for this. So how are you saying I don't think it flopped then? Yeshua, how do you know? Harvester was a cheap project. The outsourced studio barely has more than 20 employees. Okay, I get that they didn't spend, mid-stellar, says Kika. I know they didn't spend a lot of money on it, but we still don't know what the sales were. What were the sales of this game? And why do you think it didn't flop? They never announced sales of Harvestella. I don't remember I only remember us seeing like the public figures that we get with like Famitsu or whatever. Did Square Enix never announced sales for this? Nintendo pay. Oh no, I'm seeing something else coming up. Yeshua was typing. Well, I don't think there were any sales announced for it. I think it flopped, Yeshua. I don't think you just wanted to have flopped, but I think it did. Okay, Square Enix never commented on the game before or after the game release, but there you go. When they Square Enix, when they say nothing, that means the game flopped. When a game does well, right? They shout it from the rooftops. When a game where they give you one update and then they never speak about it again, right? That means initially it was okay, and then it dropped off a cliff. The legs dropped off, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. Hence, no update for Final Fantasy 16. The game came out like a year ago, didn't it? Almost a year ago? No sales update. Harvester was the friends we made along the way. Yeah, well, Harvester didn't make enough friends because it doesn't seem like it's going to come back. So you could say it was a cheap product, but if we don't have the sales, then I don't know what we can really say about that. I'll have to look it up later. Can't do it now because it's like 11 and I'm starting to fade, right? So we'll have to look up some of the sales. I just think it didn't do well. Like, I'm looking at that. If this game sold only like less than 100,000 on Steam, most likely, what did it sell on Switch? I don't think this game even sold 500,000. Live Alive sold 500,000, and Square Enix gave a sales update for that. This game got no sales update, so I don't think it sold even 500,000. I'm gonna be honest. It probably sold Live Alive was a bigger project, but both these games. But hang on, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant whether it was a bigger project. It got a sales update. This didn't. I'm saying it didn't sell even it's even some of the smaller. Haven't they given sales updates for some of their smaller games before? Live Alive. Live Alive was a smaller game, but I don't know if you think bigger. Maybe it had more people working on it. I guess that's what you mean by bigger projects. There was no sales announced. So I'm saying that I think it sold less than 500,000. That's what I'm saying. To this day, I think it sold less than 500,000. That's what I'm saying. But I forget both of these games, like Harvestella was sold for $60 from what I remember. Live Alive appeared on the financial reports before it was released because it was important enough for Square Enix. Yeah, that's another thing. Like projects like Harvestella are just sending them out to die, basically. Not. You shouldn't have some projects that are just like, oh no, we're not even going to talk about this. We're not going to give you a sales update. Nothing. You know. They shouldn't be having games like that. That's ridiculous. This is the problem. This is a problem with one of Square Enix's many problems. What we need to know is what Airbus Kiryu-san is going to do to sort this company out, and it's not NFTs. Airbus Kiryu-san, it's not NFTs. You stop that nonsense right now. I know they don't really talk about it much anymore. They still saying, "Oh, we're investing in blockchain." Da, 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 da. Yeah, if Square Enix thinks their fortunes lie with blockchain, then they are doomed as a company. They are doomed. Okay, time to wrap this up. I think we're just about done now. Red Hood says AI art NFTs the ultimate combo. For Square Enix it is. They put AR. Oh, that's another thing that flopped. God, the bloody foam stars. Square Enix, tell me the logic in launching a live service game in 2024 and not putting it on PC. Square Enix putting it on PlayStation only. And what they're out of their minds. That anyway, that game is dead. It's gonna be dead before the end of the year. I'm gonna shut that down for the end of the year. Stop all support for it. So it's just Square Enix, L after L after L after L. That is this company. Can they turn it around? This is the thing. I say this because I care. I don't want Square Enix to be an L company. Their L's are of their own making. They can get themselves out of this L situation. First of all, they need to stop being so big-headed and thinking that they're kingmakers. And that just because they're Square Enix, right, that their games are going to sell well and they're going to be the masters of anything. Oh yeah, let's release a live service exclusive to PlayStation. Everyone would buy it, especially in Japan, where with no doubt they wanted it to sell because it was a Splatoon clone, basically, and they saw how Splatoon took off in Japan. Oh yeah, no, we're Square Enix. They will be by Sony. They will be. I guess you mean be bought by Sony, so they won't be bought. Sony won't. But Sony's shutting down studios and can't get out games and stuff. They're not buying a goddamn publisher. Alright, that's not happening. And why would you buy one that's failing? You know, they just had all their AAA games that were exclusive to your console. All flopped. All of them. They all underperformed. So why would you then buy that company? That makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense. It'll be cheaper to carry on getting exclusivity. What's this 2-second clip you've put on here, Red Hood? 2-second clip? What is that? What is that? Did you mean to do that? I guess you did that by accident. There's nothing on it. Nothing really. I thought you were saying something. Do you know what's annoying? That they only let you put audio clips on mobile, that you can't do it on. Like, why can I not do that on PC? You can only do it on mobile. You're mobile, I'll take it, Red Hood. Are you? Or are you managing to do that on PC? Are you doing it on PC? Is Red Hood on PC? How can I tell? Normally you can see a little symbol next to their thing. Next to their... Why can't I see that? Is Red Hood on PC? Red Hood, are you on PC or mobile? You've got to be on mobile because you can't do those clips on PC, which is really annoying. Why wouldn't they let us do that? I meant to say they are a bunch of masochists. What, on the clip? I'm on mobile. Discord, why can't we do that on... Or why can't we put clips on... One sec. I'm really not reading my word. You can do text to speech. You can do text to speech. Did I spell that? Oh my god, I can't spell.
Jody aka J-Cat said they are a bunch of masochists.
You can do touch the space like that. Did you hear it? Did you hear that? On those on Discord, did you hear that? Yeah, you can do text to speech, but you but you can't do audio clips. You all heard it. That's funny. No, unfortunately. Don't you not have the audio on your on mobile? You have to have your audio turned up to hear it. Just do /TTS TTS.
Jody aka J-Cat said at last sucks.
I typed like Atlas sucks. Oh, did you hear that, Redhead? You can't hear it on YouTube because it's on the Discord thing. No, unfortunately. It's a really crappy voice as well. It's like a really, really robotic voice. They've got better AI voices nowadays. That one's like really robotic. I mean, you can understand it, but it's robotic and really fast as well. Jatinda says Square has been an L company since they started just because people loved Final Fantasy that they could make a hit movie. I know. And then they make the movie just not even really resemble the games. I remember when that movie came out, I was only vaguely aware of what Final Fantasy was. Like I said, I never had a PlayStation. I mean, I knew people with PlayStations and played it, but like, unless you've got your own system and you've got those games, you're not really all that aware of it. I knew what it was, but I never played it. Okay, Red Hood, why have you got to bring up the A word anyway? Technically I brought it up, but I was just trying to pull your leg basically. I believe Atlas will leak P6. I have a feeling. What do you mean leak? What do you mean leak? Technically, yes, I said technically I did it first. I said that. Technically I did it. I know, but I was trying to wind you up. That's why I did that. But you didn't hear it anyway. I was trying to wind you up. I don't know about leak it, but I think they will. I mean, it's possible it could be at that Xbox thing that they announce it. That if they, I kind of hope they do. Not because I'm like particularly hyped, like, oh my god, announce P6 now. Even though I don't need them to announce it. I know they're developing. Announce P6 now. No. You know why I'm excited for them to announce it. No. It's not because no. The reason I am, because it will bury Metaphor if they announce it now. I want to like, how dumb of a company are Atlas? This will tell us. Accidentally with it, yeah, but that was like I understand what you're saying. But that was like a matter of hours before they actually were in the Xbox show. It was a matter of hours, or maybe no, it wasn't even hours. I think it was maybe like an hour before or something like that. Depends on the reception. No. When they reveal P6, it will be like a teaser. This is what you need to understand. It will be a teaser. It's not going to be a full blown way showing you everything. It will be a teaser, and that will be all anyone is talking about at all when it comes to Atlas. It's just going to SMT Vengeance is already buried. I'm going to have to do a separate whole ass Atlas rant show. SMT Vengeance is looking like that's going to quite badly underperform. We'll have to see if Atlas gives us actual sales figures or Sega gives us actual sales figures on it. But the pre-orders are not looking good. So it was the day. Was it the day before? I thought it was like an hour before or something like that. I don't think it was it the day before. I'm thinking of something else then. What was the one where it was like? Oh, I know what it was. It was like an hour. It was like an hour before. It was like it was the ports, the P5 and the P3 4 ports. Yeah, I think it was that. Redwood said, also don't forget 2022 Persona Remastered port screwed Soul Floppers 2 and 2023 Reload reveal was screwed over P5T. Yeah, that's why I think they're going to do it again. Because at the end of the day, people care more about mainline Persona than about any other. Effectively, yeah, but Jago, I actually have it recorded on. There will be a VOD if you do wish to listen back to it. There will be a VOD because I'm live on YouTube. I know, because listen, okay, Jago, it's just a coincidence that I haven't been talking about that when you came in. It's because Red Hood literally brought it up just now. You can actually see the history in the chat where Red Hood brought it up just now. I've only been talking about it for like 5 minutes. I said I'm gonna end this thing about 15 minutes ago, and Kika keeps typing konnichiwa Phil desu. She's lying. I'm not lying. Ask anyone in here. Ask anyone. How am I lying? I'm not lying. We literally just started talking about it. I will do, Richard, if you stop saying that I'm lying, I'll do a separate whole ass Atlas rant show. Yes, but the reason I said that, there's no context. Jago can't see the context. I was doing I was showing or trying to show, because Red Hood accidentally put a voice clip there, which you can only do on mobile. I said you can't do that on PC, but you can do text to speech. So I did some text to speech messages, and one of them was Atlas sucks. I was trying to wind up Red Hood. I did a text to speech, but Red Hood couldn't hear it anyway for whatever reason, because his phone sucks probably. He couldn't hear it. And then Red Hood started talking about, Atlas is going to leak P6. I wonder if they're going to leak P6 or something like that. So then, Atlas suck, it's true. Atlas sucks. It's not that their games suck. They make good games. The problem is that their business strategies. They're just. I would like to say that it's more like they're boneheaded than they're just dumb. I would say it was more like they're boneheaded. Square Enix are dumb. Square Enix are just thick. Like, I'm sorry, but like whoever's like in charge of that company are making stupid ass decisions. Alright? Atlas are one, they're greedy as hell, right? Because you need to remember, they started doing all that goddamn re-releases and DLC nonsense. But maybe not the DLC, I'm not 100% sure, because did SMT4 come out before or after they were bought by Sega? I can't remember. But all those re-releases and all that crap, they did that prior to being bought by Sega. So you can't blame that all on... Yes, Sega does horrendous DLC practices and all this stuff. But Atlas was already doing that nonsense before. And then I said, yeah, SMT... No. SMT4 wasn't a re-release. Because SMT4 Apocalypse wasn't a re-release. It was like a new game. But yeah, it was a DLC. The DLC for SMT4 and Apocalypse is egregious. But yeah, I can't say they were doing DLC before them, because I don't think they was. Because a lot of their games were on older platforms where DLC wasn't possible, so it wasn't digital and stuff like that. Takashi Kiryu is in charge. First of all, that's Airbrush Kiryu-san to you, right? I won't be doing it. Yes, it is, Jago! Yes, it is! It's Airbrush Kiryu-san! You put some respect on his name! It is. Jago thinks just because he's practically bought out the plushie department that he can be here calling Takashi Kiryu without honorifics. No, you can't, Jago. He's my stepbrother. No, he's not. Jago's making that up. Does it have... You prove it. Does it have Sonic? How can you be your... Jago, he's like 50. That doesn't make any sense. Jago, get out of your mind. Yeah, he's your stepbrother. He'd be older than, like, one of your parents. How can you be your stepbrother but older than your parents? There you go. I'd like to know that. The expansion pass is a freaking joke. I am going to do a separate Atlas rant at some point, but like I said, and I said this at the beginning of the show ages ago, I'm going to do it after we get the sales figures for SMT5 Vengeance because I think it's going to underperform. The pre-orders for it are anemic, and you expect it to. The expectations would be that it would. Oh, actually, I was gonna say the expectation would be that it would do worse than the original game, but the original game was on one platform, so in theory it shouldn't do worse. Actually, in theory it shouldn't. So, I actually don't know, but the pre-orders in Japan are anemic. And I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about Comic because they stopped giving the figures out for that. I'm talking about on Amazon. They're not looking good. And I've looked on Amazon US and UK and they're not looking good there either. So why that game? I don't know what their sales expectations are for it, but if you're releasing that game now multi-platform, it shouldn't be under. It should at least match the first game, shouldn't it? I feel. I don't think it should underperform. I don't know. You'd expect it to do... I don't know, man. The sales... And I think part of the reason is... I don't know that they've made it clear enough that the Vengeance route is like a whole ass game inside a new game inside of the game. I don't know if that's clear enough to most people. We know because we look at all of their announcements and stuff, but I don't know that enough people realize. I think some people think it's just like a little DLC thing, but it sounds more like a whole... They're saying it's 80 hours of gameplay. That's a whole game inside of the game. So I don't know that that's clear enough to most people. So most people are just like... And the other thing, it's that and the price. They're releasing it for $70. That's the other thing. It's the price. And that 70's got to be putting people off. Because don't forget the first game. Yeah, I think can you check on that, Jago? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is, but can you check on it? I'm adamant it's 60 in America. Well, it might have a listing, like, it might be like, you know, if you look on Amazon, it'll be less, it'll be because Amazon puts like discounts or whatever, but I'm adamant it's 60 in America. Because they're charging like, oh, well, you know, you saw how much it is. It's like, it wasn't, it's, what, how much was Game selling it for? They were selling it for £60, weren't they? Or and then 65 for the Switch version. £55. They're selling it for 55. 65 for the Switch. Game, get the F out. I'm about ready to... Ugh. Anyway, I hate Game because... Anyway, I'm not going to get into my hatred for Game. 65 for Switch. Converting it. No. It's no good doing the conversion. You need to see, because they're doing regional pricing anyway. They're doing regional pricing. So just look at what the RIP is in the respective country, and I'm pretty sure it is $70, Jago. Yes, but that's what I'm saying. It's 60. £60. They're selling it for £60, which would make it 70 in the US. Converting from pounds to dollars would be £70 though. Huh? Right, on game, it was 60 for the PS and Xbox versions, and then 65 for the Switch version, which would make it $70 US. Yeah, but there's no point in you converting if you're taking the amount and then converting it by the current exchange rate, because they're doing regional. Their RIP is regional pricing, Jago. So if you convert it, that's not going to necessarily tell you what their RIP is. You're not reading it properly. You're saying it's £55. Converting it would make it $70. You're saying it's £55. I'm reading what you're saying. It's £55 would make it $70. That's what you're saying, which I just said it was $70. I already said that like 20 times. But you're converting it directly. However, it's $60. Yeah. Right. But can you, instead of just saying that, can you look it up? And see what the actual price, like the RIP, not like what the Amazon. Oh, Jago, making me. I said I was gonna end the show. You're making me look things up now. So what the hell? So we need to make sure you're not a robot. What the hell? TCY. Why do I need all this? I'm not signed in on this thing, am I? I shouldn't be. Is it about the price of SMT? Yes. What's the price of SMT Vengeance? Yes, you are. In the US. Or what? Just give us the US price. Jago's saying $60. It's €60 in continental Europe. Which would mean it's more expensive here. If they're selling it for that here. It's $60? Well, then they're ripping us off then. You see, this is typical. Jago, if it's €60 and then $60, a euro is worth more than a blasted dollar. Yes, a lot of games are. But they're not always like that. You're saying always, all games are. No. Yes, but then what? Yeah, but why? You need to. Jago. There's not always a. I know Americans are bloody Americans getting priority. Hang on a second. Let me make sure I'm not signed into this thing. TYCBF is what they want me to type in. Oh my god, why? I just typed it in! I can't stand these bloody things. Why do you think I'm a robot? What have I done to make you think I'm a robot? America. Okay, I'm not signed into this. It just says deliver to United Kingdom because it's looking at my IP address or whatever. Okay. My vengeance. So yeah, it's 59. Yeah, so we get ripped the F off. But Metaphor is a cool $69.99. Can't wait to see how that one goes down. Oof, let's go. October 11th, that's out. Why is this so low? Oh, it's the past month. Okay, we don't know. I'd have to look up and see, because that's not coming out for ages. There's a problem with that. But yeah, if you look at this, right? What's going on? Turn it off. If you look at this, sorry if it's lagging out. It's just because my computer's not. My computer's crap. I don't think the sales are looking great for this. Open this. 1 cable in the past month. Switch Steelbook Launch Edition. PS5. 1 cable in the past month. Launch Edition. Xbox 200 bought in the past month. Launch Edition. What's the standard one? Currently unavailable. 200 bought in the past month for PlayStation. So 50 bought in the past month for Switch. So yeah, basically there's no point in buying the. There's no point in buying the. Why would you buy the standard edition? The launch edition. The steelbook and it's the same price. So yeah, these. Jago, this seems anemic to me. This game is about to come out. Let's see. What day does it come out? It's out in a week. Friday. What, tomorrow? It's not out tomorrow. It's out next week. Next week? A week Friday then. Yeah, a week is what I said. It's out in a week. And it's 1 cable in the past month in the US, the biggest market. That seems really low. That seems really low to me. I don't know. Atlas fans finally realising that they should stop buying re-releases. I don't even know if it's that. I mean, the first game did 1 million. Like SMT's is kind of niche. Let me get Amazon. Is it? No, I have it on here. Okay, Amazon Japan. This isn't even the best sellers. Well, it says bestseller there, but this isn't the bestseller chart. Where's that? Where's that? Sort by features. Oh, I can't do that. Where is it on here? The bestsellers chart. Where's that? I need the bestsellers chart for this. So here it's better. 2 cable in the past month on Switch. One cable in the past month on PlayStation 5. 400 bought in the past month on PlayStation 4. Obviously no Xbox version in Japan. Or no physical Xbox version in Japan. It's unusual here that they got the soundtrack at launch as well, which they didn't for the previous game. But yeah, soundtrack is available at launch. So I mean, it's better. The figures are better on Amazon Japan. But it's still Atlas is failing to capture the general market. So I want to do an Atlas discussion. But I'm going to, instead of just being I mean, yes, I could just rant about Atlas. I could just do a rant, but I think it's I'd like to do a deep dive on like kind of this topic what Jago is saying here. Atlas failing to capture the general market, like outside of mainline Persona, like a lot of the other games just not. They're not. It's not like a rising tide lifting all ships and then all their games are doing well. Like their other games are like doing the same or worse. which you wouldn't think would happen. Like Soul Hackers 2 flopping. What's it called again? Persona 5 Tactica flopping, and that was a Persona spin-off. So it's not even if you just slap Persona on it. Not only did they slap Persona on it, they slapped their best-selling Persona game. Their best-selling Persona game on it. Slap Kika, they already did slap. Didn't they put Sonic skins in the goddamn games and all that? Stop it, Kika. They did. They did that. Didn't they? They already put Sonic skins in Persona. Stop it right now. Which game? Isn't there like a Morgana like with wearing a Sonic outfit or something? Or am I just imagining that? Oh, it's in a dancing game. Okay, I thought it was in the main game. Well, it was in a Persona. That's still one Persona game. That's still one. Another thing. Those dancing games flopped. The dancing games flopped. So it's not like you can just slap Persona on it, slap Persona on something, and then the games just sell. They don't. So Atlas is not. They don't seem to have a magic formula. And this is kind of like why I'm because I feel like they've not only are they boneheaded, but they're starting to get big-headed as well. It's stuff with the decisions they're making. So I'd like to do a deep dive in Atlas. And you know what? The really annoying thing is their games. Most of their games are just so good, but the business side is completely just screwed up. They could do better, especially if they didn't do this egregious. People would be. It'd be better because the thing is, these DLC practices they do, it's their most hardcore fans that it's going after, and I don't think keep like squeezing keep squeezing your most dedicated fans is a good long good long term strategy. I really don't. But those fans they don't welcome it, Jay. Well, you welcome it because you're a glutton for punishment. That's why. SMT Vengeance looks really, really good. So Drody's just lying for a tiff. There you go. I swear to God. Jago. No! He broke in! No, I'm kicking him out. He got in.
You can swear to God as much as you want.
I'm kicking him out. How do I kick him out?
Those Atlas fans, the Atlas faithful, they beg Atlas to.
First of all, this is not a show that has guests. This is a monologue, Jago. You can't just bust in here when you feel like it. It's a goddamn monologue.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just get in. I'm kicking him out.
It's not lying. You saw the reaction to the Persona 3 Reload expansion post.
How do I get him out of here?
You saw the reaction to that.
How do I get him out?
You saw the reaction to that.
Move.
They beg.
Right, bye, Jago. Okay. Him in a different room. I didn't know how to kick him without kicking him. He got back in!
Plead and beg.
Jago, get out of here! He got back in!
Absolutely plead and beg.
No, how do I get...
Plead and beg.
Jago, I'm really trying not to kick you off the whole server, but I might have to do that because I don't know how to get you out. What's mod for you?
Plead and beg.
They don't plead and beg to be ripped off, Jago. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Jago, I'm going to time you out. I'm going to time you out. You plead and beg. You plead and beg. Who plead and beg? You. They do, Jody.
Now you're just lying again. Well,
yeah, because you're one of those suckers, Red Hood. You're a sucker. You're in here with a Persona 3 PFP. I don't trust anything that you're even saying anyway. Right.
Those Persona fans, I mean, not Persona fans, those Atlas fans, they beg Atlas to rip up.
Right. Okay. Right. We're gonna be ending this show. Now because Jago tried to force it. This is like when a demon forces their way onto your party. Jago forced his way onto my party. No, Jago. No. He's forced his way back in again. Jago, get out. Get out. He's coming in here. Jago, get out.
Hopefully she doesn't get mad.
He
That was
kicked
just
me
a
out!
joke. Join back, Jodie. Wait, it's
Jago, I
your
swear to
turn.
God, he kicked me out. He kicked me out on my own stage, on my own server. Jago, you get out. I knew I shouldn't have given him these powers. How do I get him out of here?
Everyone loved that.
No, they didn't. Jago, get out of here. You're banging out of order, Jago. Jago's out of order, but I am ending this show because I'm fucking tired.
Enjoy.
Okay, so oh god, last comment here is sorry, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Jatinda says, remember America has to pay tax on their prices. Europe and UK don't. Does the price that's on Amazon include tax or not? I don't know. But yes, they do. I need to know what the RIP is. But anyway, yes, we do play more in Europe. Prices never include taxes. Is that right? You never have it include. Why? That's dumb. It's misleading then. Maybe soon Square Enix will do young Sephiroth. I hope they do. Young shirtless Sephiroth is tasty. But please, let's do. Why do they make him so tasty? That's what I need to know. Square Enix. Yes, please, Square Enix. And then another thing is make that a proper console game, not this gacha mobile game nonsense. He's hot though. They made him hot. Mousy comes in there. What the fuck did I miss? You missed Jago forcing his way onto my party. I kicked him out though. I fused him with another demon. I fused him with like a low grade pixie. I fused him with a low grade pixie. Jago's perfect. No, he's not. She's lying and snorting again. I am snorting, but I'm not lying. I don't need to fuse Jago because he's useless. He just has fucking. You're making me swear now. He just has a man current in a fucking boofer or something. He's making me swear. You don't need to fuse him. He has perfect stats. No, he doesn't. How am I lying?
Go back to what you said.
About what? Jago, I said I was ending this show like fucking 40. I'm swearing now. 40 minutes. How you know I'm tired and annoyed? I'm swearing. Stand user. What does that say? Nico. What is that? Oh, that's my. Oh, because you can see the stats on it. Yeah, Jago forced his way onto my party. But don't worry, he's not staying because we're ending this show. What you're gonna have to do, Mousy, you need to understand. I've been doing this. Mousy, it's not my fault. Yeah, that you live on the other side of the world in a desert, right? And are not on the best time zone. I'm not in the best time zone. British summertime. It's not my problem.
It's all about GMT.
Well, I was gonna say GMT, but we're not on GMT right now. Unfortunately. Eating pre-made. Yeah, oh my god, Mousy told me about this. Jago, did you know this was a thing? In the States, there's like restaurants where you go and buy a non-cooked pizza. They make the pizza, but they don't cook it. You take it home, cook it yourself, and it's called a take and bake. But they're restaurants that sell it. That's what I said.
Doesn't Walmart do that?
It's cheaper. I understand it's cheaper, but like...
It's cheaper because it doesn't have the packaging, I'm guessing?
No, it has... it must be in a box. It must be in a box.
You don't pay?
But it's not cooked. It's just a raw pizza. They make it as a raw pizza. But what I'm saying, what you need to understand, Jago, is they're like, like you've got a takeaway, like one that you
Yeah.
can't necessarily sit down, like a Domino's or something. It's like that, except they don't cook the pizzas.
It's just on a tray, Lassie says.
It's on a tray.
Papa Murphy's.
What? Hang on, it's on a tray? There's not even a
No.
box, so it's uncovered? You buy it uncovered? What? So how are you meant to transport it home? Plastic wrap.
Ultimate money savings. You have to be
Jesus
careful with this.
Christ.
Interesting. Is that an American thing or just a Vegas thing?
I think they have them all over the States.
You don't cook boxes, Jody.
Yes, but you need to. But Mousy explained they have plastic on it, but
Mm.
I guess because it's hot, you don't have to worry about putting plastic on it. Because it's not hot, you don't have to worry about putting plastic on it.
Patrick lives in Vegas.
I don't live in
Right.
Vegas. Patrick does.
Right.
Oh yeah,
You just live.
Patrick doesn't
next
come
to
in very
Vegas.
often anymore.
You just
I live
live
in
next
Nevada.
to Vegas.
We're still desert. Where I don't know. Wherever the
She lives
I was
in
gonna
Death
swear
Valley.
again. Wherever Mousy lives,
In the depths.
where they in the depths, where they don't cook pizzas, that they have raw pizza restaurants. It's just like it's like a Domino's, except for they don't cook the pizza. So I'm like, maybe that works in the States where people have bigger ovens, but like in the UK, the ovens are like, you couldn't put like a really large pizza, like a normal pizza, like a pizza restaurant large pizza in a regular oven here. I don't think so. A 12-inch pizza or something, yeah, but not like a really huge one. Papa Murphy's, yeah, it is wild. We definitely don't have that here. Anyway, right, so Mousy, you'll have to listen to the VOD. It's not my fault you live in the wrong time zone. I do live in a desert. That's what I said. I told you. I told you. I said you live in a desert. Is it mountains and desert? Mountains in a desert? There's mountains. High desert. So you're above sea level. Are you high above sea level then? What? You're 5,000 feet above sea level? Or 4,000? That's still high. Wow. I mean, in London, we are like almost basically at sea level, I think. That's really high. Holy crap. Is the air thinner up? The air must be thinner up there. How do you breathe? The air must be way thinner. No, it is the higher. Yeah, because you probably was you born and raised in that area? I don't know. Maybe you said you from somewhere else. There is a difference. Maybe it gets noticeable after a while that the air is thinner. It's harder to breathe. So people that live in like like the Andes or whatever, if we go there, it's difficult for us to breathe. But because they're like born and grow up there and everything, they've been there for generations. It's not for them.
I think it's only really noticeable when you're about 12,000 feet.
12,000 feet.
Yeah, not 4 or 5.
Okay, maybe you can't notice it then. Generation, well, like thousands of years. Are you? Oh God, are you trying to make a Sonic reference or something? I'm just saying you've been there for thousands of years.
It's been generations since I've seen you.
I love how my computer's so lame. It won't even play these gifs. Oh my God, I need a new PC.
I think you have to click on Discord for them to play. I don't think it's your PC.
No, it's playing them, but I have to click on it on PC.
It's leaking.
Nevada.
If it's leaked so much, could you tell me how much?
Mousy, you need to. You haven't. Like. I'm gonna delete that. Okay. I don't know why you put that there. I'll see.
The box art got leaked. Oh,
No, I deleted it because you didn't adequately.
pre-order.
You didn't adequately.
Show me the box art.
You didn't adequately. You didn't adequately censor that, Mousy. You should have just copied and pasted the text or something, or just the relevant part. It's not the Mousy, I've deleted it. It's gone.
Oh. Yeah.
I've deleted it, one-handed. Well, Mousy, this is what happened when you Skype off. I thought you finished at work at like midnight.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh wow, the box art that leaked. Where did this leak? So the box art for Sonic.
Somewhere in America it is.
I mean, I'll show it on stream. It's not anything that serious. Box art for Sonic.
Not where. Like
Shadow Generations.
What site leaked it? Was it like Best Buy? What Walmart? So
you've got this
Amazon?
This one on the left, which is Chubby Baby.
Was it Sega themselves?
Chubby Sonic. Then you've got Black Sonic in the middle.
It's classic Sonic.
And then you've got
Shadow in the middle.
Blue Sonic on the right.
On the right.
Chubby Sonic. Black Sonic.
Classic Sonic.
Modern day
Shadow.
Sonic.
Well, that one was kind of correct.
Modern day Sonic?
Yeah, it's kind of correct.
Chubby Sonic.
Classic.
Chubby Sonic also has black eyes, whereas modern Sonic has
Classic.
green eyes.
Yes. That is a point of contention.
Is it?
Yeah,
Why the eye color change?
It has been since 1998.
Why the eye color change?
Because Sonic was redesigned to fit the 3D.
Oh, if anything, you would have think they would give him blue eyes, not green.
Yeah, because YouTube can't say you must have green eyes.
And what is it with this thing? And this is a lot of cartoon characters and things that they do this with. And I've never worked out where they'll be completely naked, but they'll have shoes on. There's so many characters are like that. Huh?
He has gloves on as well.
Oh yeah, well they'll do things like that where they'll have gloves and shoes and then just be naked apart from that. There's loads of characters that are like that.
It doesn't look like they are.
But when you think about it, they are naked.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it, so it's not that deep.
Well, yeah, because like they're supposed to have fur and stuff, right?
Yeah.
4,000 thing. Mousy, can you be careful not to like dox yourself anymore, please? Please, Mousy. It's a good thing that was on Discord and you didn't put it like anywhere else.
She said it was 4,400 feet above sea level.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not really in the threshold.
It's not the first time Mousy doxed herself. And I've had to save you,
really
Mousy.
Notice it.
Yeah. So the best one is Chubby Sonic. He's the cutest
Sonic.
one. So he's the cutest one. So then why did they went from Chubby Sonic. I was meant to end it like an hour ago. But you forced your way onto my party, so we're still going.
Yeah, it's not my fault. If you're meant to end it like an hour ago.
Look.
I've been here like 15 minutes.
There you go. Alright. Firstly, you've been here for longer than 15 minutes.
It's been like 15 minutes.
That's the first thing. And second thing is that I was supposed to end the stream. Did I put the ending thing on? I didn't. Yeah, so let's just finish off. Anyway, yeah, Mousy, if you've got any quick comments or whatever, or questions, or you, Jago, because I did it before, I'll answer it. And then
I'm on.
You're okay. Okay, and then we'll end the stream. Mousy, I have to. Mousy, it's mid.
Mousy, do you want to VC in Town Square?
Yeah, you can VC in Town Square. Like I'll stay here listening, but it's just like it's because I'm sitting at the PC with like 2 screens in front of me and it's like a chair that's not that comfortable. If I'm lying in bed, it's like one thing, you know, I can get ready for bed, I can lie in bed and chat with you for a bit. But it's just like I can't sit at this PC anymore. It's not comfortable here. Cause okay. Screenshots from pre-order to a dude on the internet. Okay, so someone leaked this box art. When's this game out? Oh wait, hang on. What am I showing this? This game's not out until October. What the hell? I just realised that. This game's not out for months. I thought, oh, it's coming out in because I've got it mixed up in my. I'm so tired. I'm so delirious. I got it mixed up with Resident Evil Vengeance. Thinking, oh, it's out next week. No, it's going to be out for months. Don't come after me, Sega, please. I heard Atlanta is scary. For you, where's Atlanta? So is England. England is scary. Yeah, a slasher in London Bridge is scary. It's not as scary as someone with like an AK-47. I don't know, they run around in the States. Jago says some guy got shot by police at London Bridge 2 for pretending to be a tech. What? I mean, like it kind of serves that person right then.
Like he had dummy what's the words?
Knives? Or dummy like a dummy but like suicide vest or whatever.
Yeah. And he also had the knife and was trying to stab people with it. And then when people stopped him. This was in 2019.
I think I vaguely remember that. What on earth did that person think would happen? Like the police aren't gonna mess around if they think you have bombs strapped to you.
I think they said that he was mentally ill.
Yeah, that would have to be
by the time that information came out, he was already dead.
Yeah. If police think that you are like you got a bomb on you, then they're not messing around.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they would have to. That person would have to be mentally ill to be doing that. Yeah, I don't even think that's idiocy. Red Hood, like Jago says, it sounds like they were mentally ill. So, okay, I hope this VOD comes out okay, because
you should probably cut out the last 5 minutes.
Because of that? Why did you make me start?
You're the one that started talking about guns.
What?
Yeah, because you were responding to Kiket's messages to me.
Oh, yeah.
Where he said, "I heard England is scary."
Yeah, England is scary, but we don't have guns. Listen, this channel here has no it has no viewers. It has hardly any subscribers. Nobody cares if I mention about guns. I'm not monetized. So
hey man, didn't you hear about the YouTube backend stuff? YouTube's always watching. Well, just so you know.
But they weren't watching for years. That's the point.
You always have at least one viewer.
Not even YouTube cares about this channel.
YouTube.
Okay, well we're ending now. I'm gonna go and fuse.
Goodbye, gamers.
I'm gonna fuse Jago with a low grade Pixie.
Let's go in the town square.
I'm gonna fuse Jago with a low grade Pixie. Catch you later.